Um, Good morning. My name is Abdullah Yunus Alade, member Kwara State Sports Commission representing Kwara North Senatorial District in the board. Um, Let me say it's by Almighty Allah's grace because luckily I'm the youngest in the board, and if I may put it right in right context, I think in all the commission that has been constituted by Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak led administration, I'm the youngest commission member in the whole of Kwara State as at today. So it's a privilege that I do not take for granted, and I've been doing everything within my capacity to make sure that I do not fail our principal, and we carry out our responsibility as given to us by Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak led administration, and towards the agenda of sport development in Kwara State. Yeah, that's the best thing actually, because for you to change the process, you must be directly involved. You cannot just be criticizing from outside the team, but for you to score a goal, you must be on the pitch. So if you are not an active politician, or you are not active player in politics, then to me, I don't think you have moral justification to condemn or to criticize people. So even if you want to criticize, at least you cannot be a politician, but at least you should be part of the process. And by so doing, by the time you find yourself in that table of decision making, you see that you'll be able to influence your own decision or your mindset on the people, and let them see why they need to go with your own suggestion and opinion. So it is actually good for youth to play politics, because you cannot continue to say that you don't want old folks to continue to circulate themselves in one position to the other when they are not involved. Yeah, one of the mantra of Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak led administration on sport development is to decentralize sporting activities, and we got here barely around August, precisely August last year. And one thing we have been able to do differently is that one thing we are doing differently in Sports Commission is that area of strength of each local government, each senatorial district, we want them to build on it. Then we want them to focus in that area, because everybody cannot be footballer, everybody cannot be volleyballer, everybody cannot play handball. But if you want to swim, go there. If you want to do canoeing, go there. If it is squash, go there. So, and in Kwara North, if you should look at it, many of our communities, specifically Patigi local government that I come from, and in the local government and some part of Moro, then few communities from Kayama and Barutin, you see that they are riverine areas. So one thing we are trying to do in Kwara North now is that we want Kwara Northerners to focus more on swimming and canoeing, because that is the area they have comparative advantage ahead of every other senatorial district. I'm not saying that other senatorial districts who cannot do this, but they are born in an environment that what a river surrounds them, and you cannot compare that with just taking your training inside the swimming pool. So by the time you are a fisherman, or a son of fisherman, or daughter of fisherman, by the time you just get little skill techniques of the game, you see that you'll be able to catch up more than every other person that they are training on artificial facility, which is the swimming pool. So these are some of the things we are doing in Kwara North, and we've supported a lot of our activities from Kwara North Axis in time of in organizing their sporting facilities, because that is one of the things we are doing in commission, that we believe that sports is a unifying tool, and we believe in the unity of our dear state, and we want a platform where youth can come together irrespective of their ethnic, their religion, their skin. So we want them to be able to come together to chase a common goal. And we know that it is through sports that this can be achievable, and that is why Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak is investing heavily in sports development in the state. Yeah, I would say yes, because if you should look at it, before the present GM of Kwasif, my good friend Abdulkawi Olododo, it was Mohammed Brima,
yes,
also a youth. So he performed well, and under him we have programs like
the Owo Show,
digital learning during COVID-19.
Okay.
We have Owo Show, we have
Trader Money.
Yeah, we have Owo Show, we have Owo Arugbo, we have Kwapreneur 1.0 under Mo Brima as a youth. So now that Kowi is there, we have Kwapreneur 2.0, and is consolidating on the mandate that Malam Mohammed Brima has established. And if you should look at it, my sister, my friend Adeyika Osara, the SSA Youth Engagement, she's also doing wonderfully well. She has organized Kwara Youth Fair for business owners in Kwara State, and she's engaging people from senatorial districts, from one senatorial district to the other. And my friend again, Abdulatif Ibrahim Egged, that got appointed recently. Abdulatif is a guy that has shown great zeal towards the development of this state, and is the co-convener of Kwara Leaders that is focused on telling people where we are coming from, where we ought to be as a state. Unfortunately, I am also a co-convener of that Kwara Leader before my appointment. So luckily now, my friend Eged is also an appointee now, SA Communications. Me specifically, in fact, when he told me about his appointment, I said, wow, that's amazing. Then I've appreciated the governor for finding youth worthy. And it is not only them. If you look at some other positions, like even the Commissioner for Works is a youth. Commissioner for Finance, she's a youth. Commissioner for Youth, she's also a youth. Commissioner for, before the separation of Sports Directorate from Ministry of Youth and Sports, the commissioner then, before the dissolved cabinet, the first commissioner under this administration, my sister Joanna Kolo from Edu, also a youth. So there are so many of them that I can keep on counting, that are youth that has been in one position, or that are currently in one position to the other, and they are doing exceptionally well. I don't think that is the truth, but it's just the governor's style to make sure that youths will be, many of the youths around now, some of us are tech savvy, and we are native of technology native, that we can use technology, social media, our knowledge, our talent to do things differently. I'm not saying that our elders, our fathers, they don't also have that charisma, but when that is there is creativity, there is innovation. So once you are creative and you are innovative, you are top notch. So yeah, we cannot erase the fact that the dynasty was there for so many years, many decades. So it is possible, because during that time there were recruitment, so they have people in parastatus. But we as a government, we cannot say, okay, because they are Sarakites, that we should chase them off. No, it is not possible. But how do we do things differently? They got to the appointment where we were there, maybe because of their ideology then. So if we were able to do things differently, we can change their mindset. And that is why I keep on saying that what we need as a country to develop is attitudinal change, and we need value orientation. And that is one of the things that we are doing, and me in my own capacity, whoever I meet, wherever I'm talking, I make sure that I let people see that no, we need to do some things differently. We don't need to continue to think as in the 80s or 17th centuries. So I think this is one of the reasons why Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak style to invest in the youth and through human capital development. Human capital development varies. You may decide that okay, it is through appointments that being the government, okay, bring your own expertise to forth, and you may say that okay, maybe one parastatal recruitment as civil servants, you put them there. So these are one of the things that the government has been doing for with the youth. And above that, if you should look at the demography of Nigeria as a country, youth has the largest percentage. So if you want to do anything meaningful, you should target the youth and the women specifically.
Okay, let's quickly talk about Kwara Rebuilders. So what exactly is Kwara Rebuilders?
Kwara Rebuilder is a platform that we like minds came together to say that okay, Kwara, we don't want Kwara to go back to Egypt. We don't want Kwara to go back to the dark era of modern slavery, maladministration, bad governance, and empowerment of good boys, as they used to call them then. So we now say that okay, what can we do as a group? That we need to enlighten our people. We need to let people to know that the style that they were running this government, this state previously is not the way to go. So that is why we said a few of us came together and said, okay, let's form this. And before then, we all participated to the emancipation of this administration, one way or the other. But you know, when government is in place, cabinets are being formed, some people are being fixed into one position to the other, then you need to look at, okay, what can you do your own part to support the government? It is not to support to get appointments, but to support to get money. Even what are the builders? We are not an organ of the government, and we are not getting support from the government. We use our personal resources to pursue our goal and make sure that we contribute our own quota toward the development and rebuilding of a Kwara that we will all be proud of. Yeah, we did environmental sanitation at Ipata Markets. Then we did okay, as a result of fire menace, disaster everywhere, then we now look at, okay, what can we do? Let's go on sensitization tour. So we did for Kwara South, Kwara Central, and Kwara North, where I come from, because I'm the one coordinating Kwara North. Then Eged was coordinating Kwara Central. Then another guy too from Kwara South. So we did in partnership with fire service, so we went on tour to marketplaces. Then we sensitize our people on how to handle their appliances and make sure that we avert, because we cannot completely stop it, because some might be natural, fire might be natural, artificial. So, but as much as possible, we should try to reduce the artificial aspect of it. So those are some of the things we did, and we are also doing weekly radio program discussing one topic or the other: child abuse, child abuse, and so many topics depending on trading issues at that material time. And up to now, the program is still ongoing. Wow. Yeah, it is our official place now. You don't expect me to be doing the ballet, and even if I have to do that, because Lupe, we are cultured, and we have respect for elders. So if I do that, it's not a big deal now. It's actually not a big deal, but yeah, I relate well, I flow well, because I'm a very jovial guy now, and we did streets together. So actually, it has my colleagues, they are father figure to me, for the men, and the women, they are mother figure to me. So I respect them, and they also respect me as their son,
as their colleague,
as their son and as their colleague. So it is the two at the same time, as son and as colleague. So our relationship has been fantastic. What I would advise the youth is that whatever you know how to do and you know is for the good, continue doing it. One day, they will surely, somebody somewhere will surely recognize your impact and your talent. Because the reason why some of us are finding it, some people are finding it difficult to flourish is that they cannot survive competition. Some of them will say, okay, because this one is doing it, I cannot do that. You can actually do the same thing, but with just little touch of innovation, you see that you surpass that person. And that is why I used to tell people that branding is very, very important. Before now, if not, I'm a bit lazy now. I was social media influencer, especially on Twitter. We used to cause trouble very well at that time, and the trouble we used to cause is for the good of our people. And through social media, I network well, and I've been able to make a lot of friends both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, both in Kwara State and outside Kwara State, and we relate well up to now. And we have been doing well because they know that youth is the future, and the future is now. Yeah, as far as we are concerned, we are not aware of any fund released for indoor sport hall. The fund, we are aware that the government released, because from record we found about 72 million. So 50 million has been released before we came on board. It was released through Ministry of Youth and Sports. So when we came as commission, additional 22 million was released, and out of that 50 million naira, it was what's it called, mobilization for contractors to start some projects. And some of the projects are volleyball courts, basketball courts, renovation of handball courts, I think squash courts too, either squash court or swimming pool, I cannot remember now. This swimming pool complex here. So additional 22 million naira is some for the completion, some is at least subsequent payments to keep on moving with the job. So that is what we are concerned of, we are aware of. And when the issue broke out that nothing to show for 72 million naira spent on indoor sport, or we are like, where is the 72 million? We search everywhere, we did not see any record of releasing any money for sports listing. We now told them, okay, what is your evidence? Let us know. Whether some people claim to have collected the money, but as far as we are concerned, it is not through Ministry of Sport and it is not through Sports Commission. And though, we have outdoor games and we have indoor games. So maybe what they think in their own wisdom is that indoor activity, for instance now, our swimming pool here is indoor because it is inside a complex. So maybe that is one of the things they see that convince them. We never can tell, but as far as we are concerned, we are not aware that any 72 million naira was released.
So of these projects you just listed now, which of them has been completed or which are ongoing?
Yeah, since 2019, 2020, they completed volleyball courts, basketball courts, then handball too has been completed. Swimming pool too is almost at 90% completion. President Muhammadu Buhari was scoring 7/10.
Okay.
The reason why I was scoring 7/10 is that in the aspect of agriculture, is doing wonderfully well. Nigeria is the major exporter of rice in the whole of Africa, as we speak, which was not like that when President Muhammadu Buhari came on board. These are some of the things that they are facts. When I want to speak, I'll speak based on facts. I will not speak based on emotions or what people want to hear. If I say based on fact and it's not what you want to hear, you can take me up. You may disagree, no qualms. But I will tell you as it is. In time of security, yeah, the government has been doing their bits they can, and no administration has prioritized purchase of equipment, security, fire, security equipment as President Muhammadu Buhari administration. But you know, there are some of these equipment that even after purchase, you will take your money to go and buy them, but you cannot use them unless you get approval. Why? Because they don't want you to violate the Human Rights Act. So that is why you see that there are some equipment that was purchased by this President Muhammadu Buhari administration, but because of the process involved before they use it, you see delay in some of these things. And in terms of economy, I will rate him high in economy, though it is not what people are thinking and it is not what we expected. But people are now judging the economy based on dollar and naira. It is beyond that. UK today, we are talking about UK is in recession. There are many countries that are in recession that are facing economic challenges or the other. So because that is one of the things you should judge the administration with. It is not that, okay, the price of rice before it came on board, the price of rice presently, it is beyond that, because before you can make a verdict, you must make comparison. And one of the comparison, if you want to make that comparison, you must be fair-minded. You should not be partisan and you should not use emotions to judge. And the types of education, though, the fire that President Muhammadu Buhari administration is getting is based on ASU, and on that ASU case, it has been, every government is ASU issue since 90s. It has been there. So, and this present agreement they are talking about is 2009 agreement. Now they want this administration to honor, to implement, and implemented. Former President Goodluck Jonathan was vice president when the agreement was signed. From there, after the death of President Yar'Adua, he took over, completed that first term to 2011. From 2011 to 2015, he was there again. So as the president of this country, he ruled for complete 6 years. And during this period, they were also strike. Still on that 2009 agreement, he was in the best position to have implemented it, because even as at that point, the economic situation of this country was a bit better. Even when you compare the prices of PMS crude oil that we sell and as our revenue from oil at that particular time, but all these things were left undone. And even in terms of infrastructure, the money they were generating, does not even commensurate the infrastructure on ground. So, but you know, our people, some of them, especially the youth, where we're supposed to put blame, we will not put blame there. So, and me as a person, I will continue to appeal to us and federal government that they should share to us and give the government some sense of compassion. That, oh no, we are compassionate because of economic crisis. ASU strike is there, ASU is there, doctors are there, all these nurses too are there, all of them, before you know now. And industrial action is not always the best for us, because by the time you do industrial action, another person to come back and say I want to do industrial action, they will not be going to court here and there. No, that's not the best way. But overall, President Muhammadu Buhari administration has been wonderful to me, and even in terms of infrastructure.